Good evening. I'm Lamarque Polvado coming to you from Lockhart, Texas at 50 Romeo on the tarmac with the old trusty Cessna 150 that I've been doing some training in. Accomplishing, believe it or not, a dream of my own that started a little bit ago. As a matter of fact, I believe it was 2001 when I took my first flight lesson. What an amazing day that was. But then something happened that would change the trajectory of my entire life. I took my 5-year-old to the doctor. We walked in and we knew something was not right. But what we didn't know is that we would receive a diagnosis of severe autism that day. In fact, not only did we get that diagnosis, we were handed a sheet of paper with autism at the top, a lot of grim stats at the bottom, and the doc walked out of that room without one referral. That was a moment that changed my life and ended up changing my career. And I think back to that moment, and in that moment, I was thinking, what does this mean? What are all of the things that Ashlyn is not going to be able to do? What is her ability level going to be? That was a hard question to think about. And so many of the families that this organization serves have that same question. But you know, what's interesting is that this organization, Challenge Air, wasn't founded on that question. In fact, it was founded on the concept of how far can we push the limits? Can we create an experience that would help families who have children with special health care needs believe in the opportunities that could come their way? Believe in the possibilities. As a caregiver, as a parent, my job is to be responsible for Ashlyn. And for a long time, I thought that meant to tell her, don't do this, don't do that, to keep her safe. And what I realized along the journey is that that is not my job. In fact, if we broke down the word responsibility, my job as a dad is to respond to her abilities, to find ways to make her dreams come true, to help her explore her passions. And I want to take you back to our very first fly day at Challenge Air. I never will forget getting there. I could tell Ashlyn was nervous. She wasn't sure about the planes. And it finally was our turn to fly. We walked out to the tarmac just like this one, and she meets the pilot, and he tells her she's going to be the co-pilot. And I remember the look on her face. She was really not sure about this whole experience. I climbed into the back of the plane, which was a tight squeeze for this 6'1", fairly large guy. And she hopped up into the co-pilot's chair. And she looked back at me with a big smile. She had Tedder, her favorite teddy bear. She put him in the window, and she looked back at me and she said, "Daddy, I'm a co-pilot." And she said that for the entire flight. Once we took off, I looked over to see what was going on with her face, if she was still a little timid, and I saw the biggest smile I've ever seen on her face. I could tell all of a sudden she believed that she could do things that maybe a few minutes ago she believed that maybe she couldn't. It changed her belief. And I remember watching her grab the yoke and fly the plane and just smiled the whole time. And we landed the plane and pulled up on the tarmac to my favorite part of a Challenge Air event. You know that part. The part where we pull up to the red carpet, the engine shuts down. Ashlyn got out of the plane. She got her wings pinned on her. She got a certificate from the pilot. And I really thought she might walk on air. But instead, she walked on that famous red carpet. As many of you, people just like you and me, stood clapping and cheering, congratulating her on an experience and an accomplishment that would not have happened without this organization. Imagine if we hadn't asked ourselves and found a way to make an experience like Challenge Air. And I want to say tonight, congratulations to April, to the team, to all the previous team members. And you know, I have met many along the way, and I've been to many of these galas, And unfortunately tonight I can't be there, but I'm coming to you, to challenge myself, to make sure that we step up tonight and that we allow another 30 years for this organization to change lives, to change communities, to challenge the status quo of what children with special health care needs can and cannot do, and to let the individual, like Ashlyn, believe and to begin to explore all the opportunities that can happen in her lifetime. And with that tonight, I just want to say to all of you, thank you for coming. I wish I could be there in person. I will be there next year. But what can we do together? And I know for myself, it's not just about tonight. It's about the next 12 months until next year's gala. My mission, I'm going to make it my mission as I travel across the U.S. with my two companies. I'm going to talk to folks who have never heard about Challenge Air. I'm going to share my personal story, and I'm going to ask them to make a commitment to give this organization another opportunity for another 30 years of changed lives, another 30 years of opportunities. And imagine 30 years from now, what a difference we will be able to make together. Thank you for coming to the gala, and step up with me. Let's challenge ourselves to make amazing dreams come true. Good night, and thank you for your commitment to Challenge Air.